Welcome to Dadmode, a podcast that is the triforce of gaming, streaming, and dad life in general.
And so, for the people listening, it sounds like we're going to pretend it's a week, but it's been like 7 seconds.
It's called time management.
So Bearded, welcome back. How was your week? How was it since last time we recorded?
Flat out. But from then, I've gone and made a coffee. Come back, I feel refreshed.
Yeah.
Yourself?
Yeah. It's been great. We took a bio break and we're good to go. No.
Well, we talked about online safety before. Like last podcast was online safety. And then after we finished it, we were talking about just life in general and how do you handle this time. And then it came up with us that we should quickly hit record again while we're on it. Because how do you balance this streaming? Where do you fit streaming in as a dad?
Right. Because if people don't know, if you didn't listen to the first podcast we recorded, we're both live streamers, on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. I'm sure.
Just realized
exactly. We've been on every platform, I think. And I primarily stream on LiveSpace. He primarily streams on Twitch.
Yep.
And but we've both been doing this for well over a year. I've been doing this for, oh my god, it's almost 3 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, 4 years, something like that. 4 years, I think, for me.
And it's hard. I love streaming, but as a parent and with a job, with those life responsibilities, no matter how much I like this, like, it is difficult finding the time to do it in a way that doesn't have me ignoring my family. What about you?
Yeah. Like, realistically, the only time I find that I can take back for myself really is after hours. And so I'm taking my time off me, which is my sleep.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. Because at the end of the day, children, after school, you've got dinner, homework routines, all that type of stuff. They're preparing for the next day. You can't be a main time streamer. You can't do it from 5 o'clock in the afternoon till 9 o'clock at night or something. Like, you can't hit those prime time hours. It's impossible.
It is impossible, and I would love to, because that's when everybody is up.
Oh, same.
That's when everybody is watching it.
Oh, I know.
And like, I have always had. First of all, this has always been a negotiation with my wife.
Yes.
When can I do this? It's not. I can't just. I'm not single.
No.
Right. I'm not single. I have kids. Like, you have to be like, well, I was. It's like a negotiation. Like, I push forward a card that says I want to stream at this time, and she scribbles something on and passes back down. How about this time? Like, it's a negotiation. So what we worked out was like Bearded just said, same thing probably. Once the kids would go to bed, once the day is done, dinner is done, and all that stuff. It's not every
night,
right?
though, either. It's not every night. Like, I can't do it every night. My routine, it used to be 2 nights, and I managed to swindle up to 3 because one was a podcast night, but it would be Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So in between there's a day off. That day I'm with the family, I'm with the wife instead of in front of the kid. I mean, there are days that, oh crap, I really want to edit this short to get it up, but like, since the baby, that's gone. I'm not doing that anymore. It's all in there. But I know coming back, I'm going to have to go back to replanning what this looks like for me.
Yeah. It's definitely not easy. Time management becomes a real thing. And, we always preach to people, you need to do editing and posting and all these things. And in streaming, they take time. And streaming is even harder for time management than editing. Because editing, you can kind of squeeze in 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, wherever you can. Streaming, you're live. You're live for 1, 2, 3 hours, and you can't really just break that up into pieces. So you have to understand like what your schedule is during the course of a week, during the course of a day, and fit it in there. And be consistent with it too.
There's some trick to it. I found like over time, I've got better at it, at handling it and making the most of my time. So like we talk about, you shouldn't just stream. You got to post elsewhere, long form content, short form content, tweets, the rest of it. So tweeting, that's simple as you can just build up a bunch of tweets, schedule them. Just schedule them for a month at a time. You do 30 tweets, take you half an hour, schedule it. Once every day, it's going to post a tweet. You're staying active. You can just engage with the comments in. You don't have to think about what you're going to write each time. Use AI. That's another one. Use AI to write your tweets if you want to. Like you and I have both done that. Like engagement farming with AI, like it's a thing. And then record it. Like you record your live or download your VOD. If you don't got the PC to do it, download your VOD. There's nothing wrong with downloading your VOD back off Twitch or wherever, and then using that to break it down. I have a shortcut on my keyboard for markers on Twitch. So while it won't clip, it will just mark my VOD. So when I want to edit my VOD through Twitch, I can see all the markers, and then I know in my editing software, that's where I need to go to get my clips.
Yep. It's all, those are great tips. But you guys, you need shortcuts. You need those kind of shortcuts like he was just mentioning, because your time, I don't want to go into the time management part again, but like you have to be efficient with what you're doing because your time is limited.
Presets. You and I talked about presets offline.
Yes.
Like, okay, how are we going to make clips for this? How does that look? Okay, quickly staged a couple. Cool. We like these ones. Sweet. So that's our preset. Yep. We can set presets. You can set presets inside your editing software, so you can drop a clip and drop your preset over it, and it will format it to the way you need to. Like that's the biggest time saver I ever came across in video editing was presets. Figuring out, hey, I don't have to actually arrange the clip every time I want to edit it.
Right. Yeah. That was the biggest time saver because you had Eyes on Gaming where you had your daily new video game news, and you had presets for it, and you were able to knock it out pretty quickly. I did the same thing for a short period of time when I was doing some daily game news as well. And that makes it easier. Now for this podcast, even though it doesn't have to be daily clips, we still want a process that's quick and smooth, so we can get things out there because we're doing this on top of other things that we're doing.
It's the same as being a dad or a parent. Or,
it's hard.
You're doing stuff around your own, in your own personal life outside of content creation. You have ways of doing things that are efficient and fast for yourself. Like that's.
Yeah. Yep.
It's no different than life.
It is no different than life. And, speaking of life, so we're talking a lot about like how to make the streaming part of this more efficient and
work into your life. Yeah.
Make it work into your life. Don't forget about the family.
No.
Don't forget about, because if you don't prioritize your family, you're gonna be miserable overall. Because trust me, your partner will not let you forget it. Your kids will not let you forget it. There was a point when I didn't do a good job at balancing.
I've done the
and my kids would say, "Oh, you're going out to stream again, Dad?" And like they wanted to play baseball or something, and I'm like, "Yeah." And then months later, you're like, "Oh, I'm a shitty parent," So
or
don't do what
husband.
I did.
I've done it with the wife. Like she's going to bed every night by herself, and I'm sitting at a computer doing stuff. That's like we're going back to earlier. That's why I have the day off to make sure. Every other night I'm there, even if it's just on the couch watching something that she wants to watch. That's time for her too. Partner still gotta have time.
Yep. Like I know I've negotiated myself down to 2 days that my wife is cool that I go out and do this. Now this is the third day because we're doing a podcast, and like I told Beard before we started, like I have to stop at this time so I don't get murdered.
Yeah.
So
I know. I mean, I do this on a Saturday, so I've kind of negotiated into I drop a daughter off at acting school. That goes for an hour to 2 hours, depending on what day it is. I can record in this time. But before I get on here, I need to make sure I've held the baby for a while to allow my wife to go to the toilet, make a drink, have a shower, like just feel human herself before I can go off and do something. I mean, last week when we recorded, she had to go out midway while we were recording because we were rambling. So I had a child for half of it. Like
our first ever guest.
First ever guest, yeah.
But yeah, so I know that there's people out there who with busy lives like we have, and you're thinking, I'd love to stream, I'd love to be a content creator, but I just don't have the time. Like, what we're trying to tell you is you can. You can do this. He's got 5 kids and a job, and his kids have activities, and he still manages to get it done. So it's not impossible. You just have to be honest with how much time you have and how much time you need, and then make it happen.
Yeah, write it all down. Work out what your parts are. What you need for yourself. Like I know for a fact that I can rely every other day. I can do that 5 hours sleep, 6 hours sleep. If I did it 2 hours, 2 nights in a row like that, I'm probably dead on the third one. Like it's just not going to happen. So knowing what my limitations were and what I need for myself as well as what my family was allows you to just look at how you do it, how you handle it. And you don't have to stream 5, 6 hours, 8 hours. You don't need it. You don't need to.
No.
I did a 24-hour stream once. That was cool.
You were tired.
I was.
That's when you. Is that when you had like 17 cameras lined up all around the house?
I didn't have the family.
Yeah,
I remember that. Only that happened is because I didn't have the family. My family was on vacation. They all had to go on off to see. I was staying with my sister-in-law in a few states south.
Yeah.
So it was just me. So like that's the only reason that happened. And nothing like that has happened ever since. And probably won't happen like that for a very long time. Like it was fun. But don't think those are the type of things you need to do because it's really you don't. You don't.
Isn't it kind of funny though? If your whole family went away when you were younger, like you're going to partying, and now it's like I'm streaming for 24 hours. Like it's funny how life changes.
I cooked the biggest ribeye steak I think on stream, like, and it was like it was like a 3-pound steak. It was huge. That was way more than 3 pounds, but it was massive steak. Like that was my stream. I'm cooking a massive steak, and I'm playing video games for as long as my body allows me to do it.
Yes, which is probably less time than it was 10 years ago.
That's why I had a camera in the kitchen, so you could see me go from the kitchen to make another coffee, like just constantly pumping in that caffeine.
Right. Don't forget the caffeine either, people.
My heart's about to explode.
In fact, I think right now you're drinking a coffee and an energy drink, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and the energy drink.
Coffee's already gone.
Yeah, coffee's
right. See, now I'm not doing that because it's almost 9 p.m. for me. So
you need to sleep.
It's almost 9 p.m. Yes, I do. And then tomorrow I have to do my editing. So like that's how it works. Like my kid is going to do his a volunteer job for a local fair. So I'm dropping him off. My wife is working. And so I have that hour and a half to do some editing for this podcast, probably. While my other kid, I just pop him in front of the TV. So that's kind of how that's going to work.
My wife's message was asking me which one of us is getting the children. I decided to double check what time that was. Like I couldn't remember what time. Lately, I've been horrible at remembering at what time things end. Calendars help. Say that.
Yeah.
Calendars help you a lot in life.
Yes. I use every time I sit down out here, I tell Google to tell me when it's whatever time because I will forget to even look at my phone.
Yeah. Well, that's just looking at it. Yeah, we're talking about this time management, how to do it. We trying to keep our podcast in a nice compact size. The rest of it, I know for a fact that in 15 minutes I have to go pick up my daughter. But that works out perfect.
Right.
It works out perfect.
It does. Great length for the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Efficient.
Like it's efficient. We started this 15 minutes ago, so this is going to work out well.
Right. So I'm looking over some notes that we had here. We're talking about aspects, the challenges, the strategies for it.
Yeah.
So we're giving you some strategies about how to do it. And the challenges really are what we're saying. It's balancing the things in your life. To give you a personal story, when I first started this, I was super into it, and I prioritized streaming or content creation over everything, even over my job for a while.
Yes, I did.
And I could do that because my boss, actually, who was a personal friend, got me into this.
He encouraged it.
And eventually,
kind of sounds like he wanted to fire you.
Right. But we have so much dirt on each other right now, it doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter.
So, and that wasn't smart. So a challenge for me, I'm just making sure my mic is working because I just moved it. All right.
Yep.
A challenge for me was the prioritization and understanding what was important in my life and what I had to keep going. Because no matter how much you like content creation or streaming, it's probably not paying your bills, and it's not going to be living in the house with you when your family moves out.
Yeah.
So,
unless you want to turn your whole house into cameras, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. So that's definitely a challenge, and you may, if you get serious about it and you want to try to really grow as a content creator, as a streamer, you'll learn things like, posting on social media, and you will learn things about being consistent with the times and the days and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all of that. If you just like streaming and hanging out with people and playing games online, that's awesome. You don't have to be super serious. Just and fit this wherever you can. You don't have to be super serious about it. Like I am more serious about it. Bearded has been more serious about it, but you don't have to be.
No.
You can just have fun. It can be a great stress relief to just stream online and talk to random people and meet some new people.
Well, that
can be really
for me.
Nice.
That was the point of mine. Was I played games online. I was doing it late at night because that was the time I could game. But where I lived was remote and rural. I used to play online with friends all the time, and that really, friends don't do that as much anymore. And I just wanted a co-op friend, like someone, a couch buddy, someone to talk to while I was gaming. And the idea of streaming, that's filled in that void. Oh, hopefully someone will come by and just hang out with me and talk to me while I'm gaming.
Yep. And that's a great thing to do because, I can tell you too, as I've grown older, there are fewer and fewer IRL friends around. Like everybody that I know is married and has kids and jobs and busy lives. It's hard to find time to game with people. It's hard to find time to hang out with people. My wife finds it weird that I have more online friends than IRL friends. But I'm like, babe, where am I gonna meet people? I don't want to hang out with the losers from my job. No offense to anybody who's listening from my job. I don't want to hang out with them. So what the hell? So it's a great way to meet people.
Well, as my wife said last night, I think it was like 9:30 or something. I'm sitting on the couch having a drink, watching TV, and I pick up my phone and I start typing. She goes, "Who are you texting?" I'm like, "Oh, Morph. It's 7:00 in the morning. He's just woken up."
Yep.
So, but
that's funny.
Guess wrapping this one back up, what would you say is important for people to think about when it comes to managing this, takeaway with it?
I would say that the most important things are realizing what's most important in your life and prioritizing that, and just working the streamer content creation or whatever it is you want to do around that. Because at the end of the day, it's your family and your job that are going to be there for you and help you get through everything else.
Yeah. That's what I always think about it. You need that support locally, inside your life, around you, physically, before going on online and just hoping it all there, because you don't want to give up what you've got. You don't want to lose that. And I think if you were to lose that because of online content creation, streaming, putting all your focus into that, your job, your family, everything disappears around you, I don't think you'd still be doing it. You'd be that miserable in yourself that drive and that escape that you were using it for isn't there, and you would just lose it all in the end. It wouldn't just be you wouldn't lose the family. You'd lose it all. You'd lose that drive that you had before.
Can't say anymore. Great point.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for tuning into the podcast today. If you like it, be sure to share it, leave comments, and we'll catch you next time on the Dadmode.